Hi, and welcome to Iacon Underground Radio for the week of August 28th, 2019. I'm Jen.
And I'm David.
Hey, and we actually got some toys this week.
Yay!
I don't know that you played with yours very much, David, but...
Yes, or wait, actually, maybe they did get last.
You said it was the slipstreams you didn't open.
Yeah, there's still the slipstream. The slipstream that I got last week that I didn't open, and a slipstream I found that I forgot I had that I still haven't opened. But I got Skywarp and his little friends. They're cool.
Yay!
So I have for now my complete Seeker collection. Because I kind of missed out on the Target exclusive ones, and I don't think they've shown up in stores around here yet. I don't think I've seen any of the exclusives yet. It's like some more stuff showed up a few weeks ago, and then it kind of dried up. The Transformers aisle section of the aisle has been squished down to accommodate other toys. Lots more Marvel toys.
I definitely didn't actually find any toys like in brick and mortar stores. So there's that. We've got some news, and we've got a comic book this week that we will be talking about at the end of the episode, the Generation 1 number 0 issue. You know what? Mm-hmm.
You read some Death's Head, didn't you? Or did you not get them yet?
I have always read all the Death's Head, but I have not read issue 2 yet because my newfound local comic shop had not ordered them in early enough because... I'm like literally the only person they have who cares about Death's Head. And I had not started going until I was looking for the first issue. But he said he will be getting that for me in a week or so.
I might be the only one that ordered it at my comic book shop too. It's not on the stands, that's for sure. Although usually there's not too many extra comics on the shelves. Other than the big Marvel and DC stuff.
So yeah, I hopefully by the next episode I can talk about Death's Head 2, number 2. Yay. Death's Head 1, number 2.
Although it's also Death's Head 5 because there's a new Death's Head and he's V.
I was very happy in the preview to see Dr. Evelyn Necker in there.
Okay, that's an actual thing. I like Death's Head and I sort of kind of know him, but I don't really know the rest of the lore around him other than Doctor Who fucked with him.
Well, she was from Death's Head 2. She was basically the one who built Death's Head 2, or the robot that was to become Death's Head 2.
Right.
So yeah, that's where she gets involved. It's like, yay! Yay, more ridiculous Marvel UK stuff.
Short review of issue 2 is, there's a lot of panels I really liked and took pictures of.
Good.
Especially,
good.
It's been a while since I've read a comic and I see a page and it's like, if I had the money, I would love to own the original art of this page. And this issue has one involving Death's Head and waffles. I would like that page.
Well, he doesn't eat
he points that says. Out, but... But just the art on that page is really, it's really soothing pictures of waffles and Death's Head.
Sounds great. I am really looking forward to it. So I guess a brief mention of some similarly Transformers adjacent news. Hasbro is now the master toy licensee for Ghostbusters, which I think, didn't we talk before? Or didn't I talk before when we were talking about Ectotron about how there wasn't really like a toy company who had Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I think that came up. Yeah, because somebody did make some recent ones. Can't remember. I remember seeing some in recent years, but like it wasn't like Mattel or Kenner or any big thing. It was like one of those companies.
It was like Mezco or McFarlane or one of those.
Yes, I'm trying to remember the ones that puts out the current the current Godzilla toys. I think maybe it was them or the Pacific Rim toys. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, there were definitely some in like the older collector aisle stuff at Toys R Us that they were trying to get rid of all their Louis Tullys when they were trying to close the store. Nobody wants a $20 Rick Moranis action figure, and honestly, nobody wants a $10 Rick Moranis action figure.
For $10, maybe.
Okay, fine.
You can have him hang out with the other toys as long as he's in the right scale. I'd rather have a demon dog.
Yeah. But... yeah, I think those had sold by that point.
Probably, they were.
So I guess now that whole thing that I said at the time is no longer accurate. There is a master toy licensee for Ghostbusters, and it is Hasbro.
Hey.
Also, Hasbro is, they have declared that they are getting rid of plastic in their packaging.
That seemed weird. I mean, I guess it's good, considering...
Well, there's a lot of... Yeah, I mean, considering everything's on fire.
Well, it's a minor thing compared to the shit major corporations put out, but like...
Well, to be fair, they are one of those major corporations.
Yes, I did some cleaning up in here a while, because I've had some older boxes pile up I just didn't get around to cutting. And I cut up a bunch of Transformers boxes, and I have a garbage bag and a half full of the plastic clamshells I cut to pieces. Little shreds of plastic.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's like recycling one, so hopefully my local garbage, because I don't have a garbage van. I have to take my garbage out. Hopefully they take number one.
Yeah.
Well, they do take like soda or juice bottles and stuff, so that should be in the same
I
thing.
think that's a pretty basic one. That's why it's one. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that when we talk about how, individual actions can't do any good because it's big corporations causing most of the problems. I mean, this is one of the big corporations. Toy packaging is a major source of plastic, and there are people complaining about how, this means we're not going to have windows on the packaging, but the thing is, plastic is plastic. Now, this is something that sort of was driven home for me when I went into DC a couple months ago as part of my whole new job saga. In DC, they do have one of those plastic straw bans. And I ate at a McDonald's there, and the straws there are basically like, you can't really tell on a glance that they're not plastic. They're some sort of like plant-based, biodegradable plastic substitute.
But are they...
So I'm sure, and...
translucent?
Yeah, that's the thing, is...
I don't think you can
They were
do that.
pretty translucent.
Oh.
They were actually pretty translucent. They weren't like crystal clear, but they were pretty clear.
Oh.
And I realized that the problem with the whole plastic straw replacement thing is that those frequently use things that people can be allergic to, but you are not running your food or drink across toy packaging.
Not on purpose.
I don't know that those allergies are as much of like, I mean, I'm sure there are some people who it's intense enough that just touching the plastic is going to be a problem, but honestly, if you're at that level, probably not touching random things that you're not familiar with anyway. But it's not something where like a significant part of the population is going to be ingesting this. So there's a little more freedom to use those plastic substitutes in something like this that's not for food.
Yeah, like...
It's why it drives me crazy when I see stuff that says it's gluten-free that's like lotion. And it's like, you're not eating it.
You know, well, unless you're ingesting it, really does. But it's anybody. But the getting rid of plastic bubbles on like deluxes and things—that's a good idea. Going to a box, but entirely getting rid of like a window to see like the horrible paint apps on toys, like.
Yeah, I think what it is
ugly.
Probably,
and you got to get the good one.
It may just be that they finally found an acceptable biodegradable plastic substitute that's clear enough to serve as those windows. So I suspect we're probably not even really going to see the difference, except maybe in toys that could be packaged on like a cardboard insert instead of a plastic insert, and then, that you might see. But I have a feeling that the actual see-through windows are just going to be some sort of biodegradable plastic substitute. But yes, everyone is like, oh my god, everything's just going to be solid cardboard boxes and we won't be able to see anything.
Well, other than I would miss like having little windows. I'd kind of like to go back to G1 where everything's in a box with a little window instead of big bubble of plastic that ends up everywhere and you might accidentally cut yourself with the plastic as you're cutting it.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with the name Space Devil packaging for that old, G2 clamshell packaging. But it's evil and it's futuristic.
That kind of packaging you still get some electronic equipment, like headphones in. Oh, shiminies, I hate that stuff.
But anyway, yeah, I think it's probably not as bad as people make it out to be, because there are substitutes that are probably comparable enough. So additional news, we've got lots of news out of Canada this week, partly because there's a convention there, but also partly because their mint is making some Optimus Prime money.
I did see that. It's 25 cents and was it $25 coins?
Yes. There's a silver $25 one, and then there's a quarter. The quarter has a lenticular thing, and the $25 piece has a raised, maybe the eyes glow or something. It's very fancy. I will point out that these things are not actually, $25 or 25 cents. The $25 coin is actually, according to their website, converting it for me right now, $120.
Oh. Okay.
Because it's basically the Franklin Mint stuff we have in the US.
Well, yeah, that makes sense for the 25 cents to be more expensive than 25 cents. That makes sense. But the $25 being that much more, if it was 50, okay, that'd make sense. But 125, that's a bit of a jump for a coin.
Actually, the website tells me that with current conversion rates, the quarter is $26.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's more reasonable. Paying $25 for 25 cents with a painting on it. Yeah, that's kind of the collectible coin market. Although it's odd, it feels odd that Canada's getting in on this business. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, I guess. It seems like apparently they do more of that than you realize, because you do kind of hear about
I guess I just haven't seen it before.
Random small island nations doing fancy collector stamps, but yeah, apparently the Canadian Mint does some of it. As far as other Canadian news, honestly, the convention stuff is probably really exciting if you collect Studio Series.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make sure you got all of the Power Dashers.
The Power Dashers are more interesting.
or if you're Raksha. Sorry.
The only one of those I know I'm going to buy, and possibly after this episode, is Nightbird, because Nightbird.
Yeah, okay, fine. The Nightbird is pretty cool. I do like the Nightbird.
It's at least a good-looking
But
Nightbird.
yeah, there's also the Drill Power Dasher, and then some Studio Series stuff. Oh boy, it's Shockwave. He's not the best Shockwave. No. I'm sorry. All Shockwaves are insufficient now.
Kinda, yeah, although it looks like he comes with some little buddies, the Einstein-haired thing or whatever. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember the names of characters from the live-action movies. Oh, that's such a nice feeling.
Stupid, obnoxious little side characters who some random, concept artist was look at this idea I had, and they were great, let's put it in the movie. We don't have anything worthwhile for it to do, but let's put it in the movie anyway.
They're harassing a dog.
Because those live-action movies were really just a lot of people throwing things at the wall and using them whether they stuck or not.
Yeah.
It was just a brainstorming session without an adult in the room to say, no, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Although,
so anyway,
the scavenger, when the movie first came out, like, that was one of my favorite, like, Transformer designs. It's just this big digging excavator thing that transforms into a two-wheeled, ridiculous unicycle monster that is sort of like an adopted parent to smaller Decepticons. Or at least that was in a bit of the fiction.
That was a pretty cool design.
I don't think I'm going to buy it again.
I mean, again, it was a good design.
Because I got the original, and the original was really not good, and this one doesn't look a lot better, other than the fact that he has fingers now, which is kind of cool, but that's not enough to buy a guy who turns into part of a Devastator I'm never going to get.
No.
But, the Power Dasher Zektar is kind of neat, because when we first saw pictures, it's like, how does he transform with his head? And it seems like his head comes off to plug into his chest, which is kind of a neat idea that you could take his head and he kind of looks happy and you could plug him onto other things.
I'm not going to go on my rant about drill tanks again. I'm just, I'm not. We've had that rant in other contexts. He does look really happy, though.
This is now a drill tank with a giant cannon on the tank part. So the drill is even less effective.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it is cool that there are Power Dashers.
Yeah, it is neat that they're making them. The fact that they're making them is, like, a ridiculous point that they're kind of scraping for everything from the first 2 years of Transformers. It's like, do some more stuff. Yeah. Like, come on, give me more ridiculous things like my Seacons. Which we're slowly getting.
Give us a new character.
New characters? Well...
Give us a new character reminds me that on my list of toys I should go back and get, that I couldn't get when they were at retail because I was super broke. I really need to pick up an Alpha Bravo. Because I never got around to getting him, because before I got him, the actual Slingshot came out, and I was like, well, screw this helicopter guy.
Alpha Bravo's okay. We should specify new characters that are not just Seeker redecos. Because we're getting them, kind of. Well, Red Wing is new, and he's kind of okay. Or was... No, I think the name came from the Collectors Club, but I don't remember if he had a toy, actually. Although it's a Seeker mold. Just any Seeker mold, you paint it red, and there you go. So there probably was one.
There you go. Yeah. Not that exciting, but yeah, I do sort of miss creativity, as much as I like absolutely dedicated, perfect color matching, and so yeah, we could have both. Why not both? So that segs me briefly into mentioning that TFCon DC has a guest list now, because that list I have of back toys that I need to be picking up is definitely going with me to TFCon DC. So I will be there. I can't decide. I'm still undecided whether I'm going to be there Saturday and Sunday or just Saturday. I have a very needy cat. but I will definitely be there one of those days. Possibly being creepy at Paul eating. Or at least trying not to be creepy at Paul eating. Because as we know, I have for a very long time had a fixation on G1 Perceptor. He's so good. I love him. I want to hug him. Also David Sobolov. Who we have been talking about recently. Speaking of shockwaves who are insufficiently angry. Over on Stasis Pod, we are into the point of Transformers Prime, where Shockwave has shown up, and he is David Sobolov. So he will be there. Otherwise, got Alex Milne, Casey Collar, Jack Lawrence, Dan Gilvezan, who, he's usually pretty fun. So yeah, we've got a handful of guests announced. I'm sure that's not going to be all of them, but it's definitely some. Looking forward to that. So yeah, I guess speaking of getting toys, look at these segs I'm doing. So do you want to tell us about your Seekers first?
I have 4 Seekers now. They're the overly greebly tech detailed underbase looking versions, but they're Tetrajets. They're not quite Tetrajets from the original More Than Meets the Eye episodes, but they're fun to transform.
They're close.
I like them. They're close enough. They, like most jet transformers, have their legs or some parts of their body hanging off the underside way too much. But they're fun. I have the original. I haven't had any version of the original trio of Decepticon Jets since G1. I'm not sure if I have any other complete set of them. But I got these guys and I got Red Wing, so they're fun. They're good. I like to transform them. The sign of a good transformer is something that's fun to transform back and forth and not that much of a pain in the ass. They're almost a pain in the ass because there's a few steps where I have to get out a knife to pry open spots or to make sure the head comes out. But it's not overly difficult. It's not like trying to fit car panels in the space where I need to fit 3 things in. No, things just flap down, peg down, fine. I like them.
I find that to be one of those situations where being female is somewhat helpful because I get away with having longer fingernails than guys would.
No, that's the thing.
Pry them up easier.
I usually leave at least my thumbnails enough to get Transformers transforming. But
yes.
What is it? One of them, I think it's Starscream. I have to get a knife to pry the 2 halves of his nose cone apart. Because he pegs extra tight. Unlike the other
I do want to get that Starscream. I've still been getting more dumb stuff. I'll probably end up getting more toys once I've actually moved to an apartment and have more shelves. Because right now that's sort of a problem.
I do wish they had less of the tech greebling and a little less of the silver splatter paint, but otherwise, they're better than the classics Seekers, which ended up becoming the cheesiest mold of all time. But they transform more fun than that, and they're taller.
Yeah, that's good. Speaking of not having room for things, gosh, I totally forgot to mention Unicron.
Right. Well,
back
yes.
To the subject of news for a moment.
A lot of people have decided they don't have room for Unicron because his fundraising ain't going so great.
Yeah, as of right now, and this is Sunday, we're recording, he is just a little over 3,000. I will say that I personally had to decide to sit this out, because the thing is, I really want it to happen. I could technically scrape that money together by the end of the month, but I don't actually want him or to have to deal with his physical presence in an apartment situation, or honestly, he's gonna be huge, he's gonna require his own furniture, and he's just going to end up collecting dust in my life.
He doesn't fit in any standard glass case that a lot of people already have for Transformers. You're either going to have to buy a new, deeper, wider cabinet just for him, or just stand him on top of a cabinet. It's a thing.
Which, like I said, those entertainment centers you can get cheap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah, admittedly, I have one sitting around, but mine's in front of a window, so a cat can get on that and get in the window easier. And there's no TV, and there the TV's next to
I thought it was so that Ultra Magnus could come in through a window and kick it down.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there's as of recording, 6 days left. Just over 3,000 backers, and the target is 8,000, so, It doesn't
I feel
even look like
kinda
it's going to
bad,
get to
but,
halfway,
like,
which is kind of sad, but...
see, that's the thing is that, like, if he was at, like, 7,000 right now, I would be like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But as it is, it's like I would rather just go ahead and not set that money aside in my budget and go, buy other things. So, like both of Hosier's albums on vinyl and a very nice blanket. Because I had a shopping trip this weekend. So yeah, or a $5 Blu-ray of Dracula Untold.
Let's just $5.
I didn't
have it.
Was
$5,
on physical
I
media.
might even buy it, and I've never seen that damn movie. But apparently,
it's not good.
Hasbro has discovered the demarcation line. It's like close to $600, and like 2.5 feet tall. It is like, this is too much for your average Transformers fan to really want.
Yeah, we are not Star Wars people.
Yeah, well, the sail barge was only 500, which is still a lot, but
not quite as a lot. I mean, the thing
also,
is,
there's more Star Wars fans. He looks mostly really, really
looks
good.
like he's worth it.
Yeah, there's a few details, like bits of the face that I don't quite like, but like the heft of the legs and the arms are really cool, and the way the wings are and the grabby mouth. There's lots of neat things about him.
Yeah.
But there's not enough for me to spend $600 on him.
I mean, I'm just really trying to, like, picture, just, like, estimating just based on the size of my previous apartment. Just, like, trying to figure out where he would even go.
Yeah,
That's a lot of space to be turning over to one toy that I'm just kind of lukewarm on. So...
Yeah, it's like, I have a toy that's bigger than that. I have a almost 3 foot, or is it? No, maybe it is only 2.5 foot tall Godzilla, who's like 3.5 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good doorstop.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to worry about bits falling. If a cat knocks him over, there's no problem. A cat can use him as a scratching post.
When my cat was a baby, one of his favorite places to get was right behind Metroplex, and he was just slowly pushing him further and further off the shelf, and I can absolutely see him doing that to this Unicron.
Yeah,
just hiding behind him all the time, and just his bulk just slowly pushing him to the edge.
That actually reminds me, like, of... I haven't seen her do it since. A few weeks ago, one of my cats, Crystal, was using Trypticon, which I had to move onto the floor because he's big. He's not even as big as this Unicron. He's been sitting on the floor in my bedroom. And I saw her using Trypticon's claws to rub her face, which was adorable. But I was in bed at the time. It's like, oh shit, I don't have my camera. I can't get this. Kitty. It's so cute.
So yeah, as a crazy old cat lady, I've decided I'm gonna have to pass on the Unicron. I want it to happen, but like I said, that's the way to sum it up. I want it to happen, but I don't actually want it. And if it was closer, if I felt like I had any chance of helping, then I would. But at this point, I don't think one person deciding they don't have that much room in their apartment is gonna make that big a difference. So yeah, that's the Unicron situation. I got one third party toy I will speak of briefly. I got Iron Factory's Tarn. He is amazing. All of their stuff is just extremely detailed for the size. So he's like the sort of Legends size. He's a head and change taller than the Sideswipe they did. Which I have the G2 version of, which we will get to in a second. So yeah, he's really cool. I don't know why they felt that they needed to make the DJD combine, but it doesn't actually seem to have hurt this particular toy. I will probably end up getting their whole DJD set. So yeah, he's pretty cool. As for actual licensed Transformers, I had
side note before you move on to the actual toys you have.
A side note, you say?
I just looked to see if the Cookie Monster is doing any better than the Unicron.
Uh-huh.
Its target is only 3,000. It has just under 600, and there's only 3 hours left, so I guess that's not happening either.
Oh my goodness.
But
okay.
He's only half the price of Unicron. I didn't realize.
These were some nice ideas, and I hope that they find some sort of home in some fashion. But yes, so I got the G2 version of Siege Sideswipe, which is an Amazon exclusive, which was like, I just started having money again, so I'm actually able to decide like where I want to buy things from. And I'm like, I'm gonna try to avoid buying things from Amazon. I feel like buying things at brick and mortar bookstores at this point should be part of my philanthropy budget. I kind of feel like this brand spanking new local comic shop I have is a charity case. But, I decided
they kind of are.
Yeah, it is. I decided I wanted to try to avoid ordering things from Amazon as much as possible, and then they get an exclusive Transformer, and it's G2 Sideswipe. It's like, damn it.
Like, my Skywarp is also that, and then also there's, I don't think it's out yet, the, Impactor and the translucent Mirage Blue is also there. It's like, I had to decide which one I wanted most. And it's Skywarp, probably my favorite original Transformer.
I still haven't decided
which is the black and purple skull.
Which of those impactors I want, because one's got a more IDW helmet and one's got an extremely G1 helmet, and they're both pretty cool. But yeah, so I had actually actively decided against getting Siege Sideswipe because he looked really cool. There was also a Red Alert version, which I was tempted by because Auto Berserk is one of my favorite G1 episodes. But I said, no, I am not going to get Siege Sideswipe because they're going to do a G2 one at some point.
And then they did.
So I had actively chosen to hold out for this version, and there he is. I am kind of tempted to keep the mailing box that he came in. Because it's one of those where they basically, like, the toy itself is in a cardboard box with no windows, back on that subject. But it's in, like, a plain cardboard box, and then the plain cardboard box they just slapped an Amazon label on, which I assume is what they did with Skywarp. But even though they are called the Alpha Counter Strike Force thing, the actual cardboard box says TRA WFC Firestormer Pack.
I think the Skywarp had a silly name too. I don't remember where that box went.
So I have already discussed at length my unreasonable nostalgia for the concept of Firestormers, so I kind of want to keep that. But yeah, he's a perfectly good toy. I mean, the thing is, especially with these, because everything is just like G1, 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 they can't really, nothing about it's like, oh, this is a really surprisingly innovative transformation step. Because he's just an updated G1 car. Not even an updated G1 car, he's an updated 84 car. But he's a good, solid toy. He is one of the ones that is not covered in Greeblies, even though I think that the G2 version actually could have stood to have been covered in Greeblies in a way that the 84 colors would not have done so well with. I'm very glad I got him. I put Trench Poot in his hand. I want to get more weaponizers because I want him to have more guns, because he needs guns. But yeah, also, if you go on Twitter, if you go to my account at WreckerGen, I posted a picture of my Masterpiece G2 Sideswipe, my OG G2 Sideswipe, which is actually the one I bought in 1993, probably with babysitting money. The Iron Factory exclusive, like a Hong Kong convention exclusive G2 Sideswipe they did, and then this new one. And it's cool. I like them. They make me happy.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, like, that this one is... The vehicle mode is almost the same size as the Masterpiece? Like, I didn't realize the Masterpiece was that small, although he sort of unfolds more to become a taller robot.
Part of it is, the perspective in the photos that I took, but part of it is just that Masterpiece Sideswipe car mode is very compressed. He's dense, like there is no empty space in that car body. I mean, it's actually not as big a difference as one might think, but part of that too is just the perspective, and I might have to get the Masterpiece one back out of the basement for a few minutes to take a more direct side-by-side picture. But the Masterpiece one is just really dense. I'm very excited. Also, Slam Dance has, I don't know if you've heard about this, but he has had some problems.
Oh, yeah, I heard there was an issue, but I forget what it was.
It involved his left ankle, like, being mismolded in a way that is very breaky. So I can tell you that mine does not seem to have that problem. At least I transformed him, and there was some stuff that was maybe a little firmer than it could have been, but I mean, I transformed him perfectly fine. So I can say at least the ones coming from, like, the warehouse in Virginia seem to be okay. I know the stamp on the box was the same that had been reported as some of the defective batches, but the actual on his foot, it says #E5563. So I can tell you that batch is probably okay. If you get one that's got those numbers, it's probably okay. So that was good toy roulette luck for me. I'm glad that he is not pre-broken. That's exciting toys. So there's, again, like you said, there's Death's Head Original number 2, which I did not get yet, so I can't say too much about that. But we also got, Simon Furman and Guido Guidi's little 84 project. So I have a few good things to say about this. One being that I'm really glad they didn't draw it out for 5 issues. Because that is...
Yes, stuff happens, like there's a lot of things happening. Well, at least twice as much event happening in this issue than the current main series.
Yeah, there's that, and even just, like, other... I mean, you can kind of think of, it's a gimmick book, because... it's just for the 35th anniversary. But, like, the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover does not need to be 5 issues. I'm
enjoying it, but it does seem like the story could have been done in, like, 3 issues, possibly 2. Mm-hmm.
So I'm very glad that they kept this to 1 extra long issue. On the second page, Perceptor is miscolored in exactly the way he was always miscolored in Marvel G1, and that makes me extremely happy.
I think everyone's properly miscolored, like the Soundwave is the right shade of purple for some reason. I'm kind of disappointed nobody is entirely miscolored, unless one of these Starscreams is actually supposed to be Thundercracker.
I mean, that's possible. There are some panels where just everything past a certain point, as far as, like, the background versus foreground, everything past a certain point is just the same sort of desaturated purple.
Yeah, it's a nice aesthetic thing that I liked when they did in the Optimus Prime series. They did that some. Well,
yeah.
Did that happen in Lost Light? No, it didn't really happen in Lost Light that much. It was more in the other series, which is nice. It's like the Yom-Tov coloring.
There was a bit of that at the beginning of More Than Meets the Eye, yeah. There were the dots, at least.
Oh, I love the dots.
So, but yeah, and there's a lot of just characters being solid colors in ways that they would probably try to make them all kinds of gradients now. So, the arts, I think I mentioned before that one of Guido Guidi's biggest strengths is being able to copy other styles. And I think he does a really good job here of just making it feel like an 80s comic. The colorist was Jean-Paul Bove. So he is the one who we have to credit for all the desaturated colors.
Oh, the credits page is really freaking hard to read. Kind of. Because it's a close-up of Optimus Prime with the dots in the background. The problem is the dots are really dark green, and the text is an odd font layered over top of that, so I could not actually make out the letter's name at all.
Yeah, it does look a little off, but yeah, it's... And,
that's my only complaint about the artwork, really.
I don't know. Go ahead and say what you want to say about this story, because I feel like I might have controversial opinions.
I love the artwork. The story is okay and competent. It's a past thing with the Autobot clones and punch and double or counter punch. It's like, okay, working in characters who really didn't do anything in the original G1 comic into this thing, and then it ends up kind of indicting Optimus Prime for sending himself and some of the best and brightest Autobots on Cybertron to a death sentence in his eyes to get rid of Megatron.
Okay,
that's a bit much.
I feel that this is an extremely Marvel Comics Optimus Prime thing to do.
Okay, that is true. Yeah, this is very much his Jesus complex at maximum strength.
Yes, this is not cartoon Optimus. This is Marvel Comics Optimus, who was always a lot more, like, tormented. So yes, basically, the sort of reveal I guess going through the whole thing, but especially at the end, is that, basically he had sort of engineered taking the Ark off into space and having Megatron chase him with the intent of getting them all killed basically to sacrifice themselves to take out Megatron. Which, yeah, is a very Jesus complex. But I felt that was just like very Marvel G1 Optimus in a way that he isn't always allowed to be in anymore. So I like that. I like any use of punch and counterpunch, though every time they show up I'm reminded of like a BotCon ages ago in like 98 or 99 where at the food setup there was a thing of punch and it was actually labeled and we all thought that was the most hilarious thing because his Decepticon counterpart was nearby.
Did no one add a label to it that it's counterpunch?
No.
Oh, actually, that's a thing that should be in the fandom. Like, there should be an official recipe for how to make counter punch. Yes. The drink.
It's blue.
Oh, food coloring, yeah.
And that's the thing is,
blueberries maybe.
Optimus is using him. I suppose in this case, Punch is the main personality. But he's using that counterpunch persona to basically reveal to Megatron what their plans are for leaving the Ark so that Megatron will chase them. And I suppose it's also, so there's sort of the two stories going on, one in the far past with the Ark and then the other that ties into Man of Iron, which was
it was originally it was like just a Marvel UK story that was imported over here to fill in an issue.
Yeah.
And
so it was
that this ties into that feels weird. It feels like good use of like all the buffalo, so to speak. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, but it's like tying it to that. It's like, that's awesome, but that's also confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
That means the clones are the Man of Iron and one of them is dead. Oh no.
Well,
actually,
he's not
I'm Red Man of
dead.
Iron.
He's just hurt. But, well, it seems to be implying, no, actually not necessarily the Man of Iron, but basically this pair of Autobots, my sons, Fastlane and Cloudbreaker, who I love. They are good boys. They aren't, like, really, expositing their personality quirks in this the way that they might in an actual G1 comic, but they're definitely, dudes. They're cuties.
Yeah.
They're the characters, that kind of character that I like to refer to as the cuties, as, they come off as being younger, sort of, not hot shot as an actual hot shot, though I guess there's that too, but being the sort of young and maybe a bit overconfident. But basically they and also a ship of Decepticons come perilously close to discovering the Ark, and Punch tracks them down and ruins all of their plans because of this directive he was given by Optimus to not let anyone find the Ark because, they'll find Megatron too and wake him up, etc., etc. So yeah, it's, they end up fighting along with some Saxon hordes and some Vikings, and it's pretty cool.
It's King Canute.
Yes. So I liked it. I liked the art a lot. I got that it used my sons. The Decepticons are also a fun, just random assortment. Though it's interesting that Wingspan is there and not Pounce.
Yeah, that was odd, but I guess, I don't know. It the choices seemed random, but entertaining. Hey, Erector's in this comic. That's something.
Yes. There are some Micromaster construction folks at the beginning helping get the Ark ready, alongside Miscolored, correctly Miscolored Perceptor. So yeah, I liked it. I think it is exactly as long as it needs to be, and that's something that is not frequently the case these days. It feels like it's supposed to feel. It's a good buy. I would say I would recommend it if you are like me and you're someone who can appreciate the Perceptor is correctly miscolored. If you're not really familiar, if you've never read the Marvel G1 stuff, it's probably not going to be as much to you because you're probably only really familiar with infallible hero Optimus. So it might come off as trying to be edgy.
I'd recommend it for the art alone and the coloring, the dots. Oh,
yes.
I love the dots. Like, it's one thing that annoys me in, like, some reprints. Like, they'll go in and touch up and change comics. Old comics.
Yeah.
So that it's like modern coloring and you lose the dots. You lose a lot of the texture and the flavor of what old comics were. Like, it had a shape as opposed to, like, flat panels of color. It just, I remember seeing something recently, I can't remember what it was, comparing like a comic panel and in a recolor, which was cleaner and it looked nicer and better, but it did not have life in it anymore. It did not have energy. It also didn't feel like the 80s, as it were.
Yeah.
Like, live in the nostalgia. Live with the Ben-Day dots.
Yes. I personally feel that reprints of stuff that old should really have to use the old, like, paper stock and technology because it's just it's not the same.
I wouldn't go as far to the paper stock because that shit would yellow like crazy.
Yes.
Slightly better paper stock. It doesn't need to be hyper glossy, but it needs to be a little bit better than 80s cheap newsprint.
Yeah, okay, fine. Not printed on tissue paper like the UK stuff. Which did get higher quality coloring because it could hold better color, but it was also very thin. So anyway, yeah, so I think next time we are going to have a comic by your favorite artist. And I'm sure I'm going to hate the writing because it's just some, like, digital media rando. It's like the founder of Vice or something.
Oh, right, that. I forgot the writer entirely because all I remember is, Raymond Deli. I'm not paying for the printed version of that.
Your brain shut down at Raymond Deli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will pay for the printed version of that, but only, again, because I consider my local comic shop to be an act of charity.
Well, to be honest, that's kind of every comic book shop. I mean,
yeah.
I'm concerned about my local comic book shop. It's small. It seems to do business, but just barely.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who runs it now is I just found out the last time by overhearing conversation, she's selling it to somebody, and my thought is, shit might happen where that's gonna tank in a few years. Like, but yeah. I'm not, in a way, I'm not entirely unhappy about that happening because it would mean I would buy less comics.
Right. Yeah.
Which,
so,
save me money, but...
That's true. So yeah, we will have more comics when we come back, and we will probably enjoy them less than we enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Such is the way.
Hopefully,
of things.
Maybe you'll have an issue of Death's Head, and we can talk about that. See?
Oh, I will enjoy that.
Death's Head will hold us up. Yeah.
I made some comment on Twitter about how I kind of wanted to get a tattoo of Yaniger's G2 Sideswipe art, but I think what I'd actually want to do is commission Kei Zama to draw some new G2 Sideswipe art to get as a tattoo.
Oh my god! Oh, Kei Zama art as tattoos. Wow, that's to be honest, like, tattoos are a thing. I thought eventually I might get one, but I could never, like, think of anything that would be cool enough, or I'd, like, want to design it myself. But Kei Zama art, her art is, like, crafted to become a tattoo. Wow, it's
very good. Yeah, it's very good.
That's a thing.
So yes, he's just, like, it's totally not even out of character for the character to be like, I'm gonna be an edgelord for a couple years. And he loves guns. I mean, even in the current IDW stuff, he loves guns. It's like even the ongoing current IDW thing, he's like going on about some gun he has. So it's entirely in character. And also it's how things were when I was in high school, and that's always how things are supposed to be. So anyway, so I guess that is it for this week. I don't know what toys I might have next time, but I might have some new toys next time. You might have some new toys next time. There will definitely be comics, and we will probably be mourning the Unicron crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Womp womp. But until then, I have some Fire Emblem to play. So this has been Jen.
And this is David. I have some Gundam to play.
Yay, games! Iacon Underground Radio is hosted by iaconunderground.net. We are listener-supported through Patreon, where you can help us cover the cost of running this show and our other podcast, Stasis Pod, at patreon.com/iaconunderground. We are on Twitter at IaconUG, Tumblr at iaconunderground.tumblr.com, and Facebook at facebook.com/IaconUnderground.